The idea of offering tax benefits to multinational corporations in the territories began as a way to enhance the competitive position of multinational corporations from the US against multinational corporations from other countries.
It was a special tax system designed for corporations in US possessions, and Puerto Rico is a US possession.
A special tax environment. Basically, they were 100% exempt from income tax back in the United States.
It was never intended to be a mechanism to help the territory.
So basically, when you combine that with the local benefit provided by the Puerto Rico government, you have a huge profitability scenario for these corporations.
It was always a mechanism intended to help the multinational corporation.
Puerto Rico actually became the hub of the pharmaceutical industry worldwide.
Point of the incentives is you provide a tax benefit for a corporation who establishes operations on the territory, and supposedly that brings investment, that brings employment, and that's good for the territory. A mystique has developed tying these incentives to the economy to make it look like it's important to maintain the current status because of economic reasons.
And in effect, it became sort of a political support for the pro-Commonwealth party.
Section 936 or any kind of tax incentive is only possible under the current status. Under statehood, we couldn't have this.
And we couldn't have it under independence either. In Puerto Rico, there was a big resistance to Section 936 in the pro-statehood movement.
Section 936 ended in 2005. Basically, we have this, the whole model basically, crumbled.
And in the end, it was defeated because the pro-statehood government that we had at that moment decided that they didn't have any interest in defending this section anymore.
Tax incentives for multinational corporations are not found in the Constitution of Puerto Rico. They are found in the U.S. Internal Revenue Code. I think there are sound arguments to make that these incentives were good for the companies. They sound as if they are good for Puerto Rico, but in fact they are not.
We make our economy too dependent to a tax gimmick that we didn't have any control because the ultimate world was in the Congress.
I have looked at studies. I have looked at the logic of the dates and the incentives. I have looked at the economic data. I cannot find a cause and effect relationship between the economic development of Puerto Rico and Section 936.
In truth, when the section was repealed, the Treasury didn't end up getting any significant amount of money from repealing the section. So it was a lose-lose in that sense for Puerto Rico and for the Treasury.
Did 936 provide low cost of funds to the banks? Yes. Was it helpful to the investment of the multinational corporations? Certainly. But did it transfer to the local economy? On a limited basis only. So we were not addicted to something good that went away. We were addicted to a fallacy.
The fact of the matter is we don't have Section 936 anymore. We're not going to get anything like Section 936 again. So when you look at our history, you look back, you have to conclude that it wasn't really good for us to get addicted to this kind of tax incentive. Because to a large extent, we are in the position we are now because we became addicted to this arrangement. And this arrangement, it was never under our control. It was always under the control of the US Congress and the US Treasury. And when they decided that it was being abused by the corporations, which, by the way, it was, they decided, this is it. That's the end of it. And the fact of the matter is that we haven't had a real conversation with the US government and the US Treasury, but basically the White House and the Congress, about what we should do about economic development in Puerto Rico.
Today, we have a governor in power who is pro-statehood, who called a plebiscite to look for a vote in favor of statehood, and parallel to that effort is going to Congress asking for 933A, which is an incentive that is not possible under statehood.